I I right now am just rendered utterly speechless right now. The debut of Jon Moxley in AEW, if that isn't a warning shot to a war that we are about to witness between WWE and AEW, I don't know what is. But anyways, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy, The Walk 71, replaced day with a 4, and I'm here with another wrestling review, but this time it's not a WWE review. It's not a New Japan review. It's an AEW review, the first of hopefully many AEW pay-per-view reviews that I will be providing on this channel. This is All Elite Wrestling. If you're not familiar with All Elite Wrestling by now, which you pretty much should be, the wrestling company started by the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Cody Rhodes with the backing of the Khan family. Started their own wrestling company, announced it back in January. They announced it back in January, and this is their first show to start off the many of shows. Double or Nothing, one of the most hyped shows this year. And this show led up, this show's hype was met. It was matched because that was one of the biggest fears for this show, because the internet blew this show up. They saying AEW is going to kill WWE, AEW this, AEW that, but it was like they haven't even ran a show yet. Now, if you want to say AEW kills WWE, you can say it confidently now, because this show alone was better than probably anything WWE has produced outside of NXT this year, probably in the last couple of years. This show was amazing. It hit everything, especially the last three matches really set it for me in that last part of Jon Moxley debuting in All Elite Wrestling. But let's get this started. So, like all major wrestling shows, there was a pre-show. And this one's pre-show had two matches. One was the 21-man Casino Battle Royal. The winner gets a future shot at the AEW World Championship that got unveiled tonight, which I will talk about. Now, I didn't watch most of it. I caught the later half of it because I was like getting food somewhere, so I had to pull it up on my phone on I forgot where I found it, because the Bleacher Report Live app was trying to make me pay for it just to watch the pre-show. So I had to go on YouTube. I went to TNT's YouTube channel and I officially found it. So I can tell you what I did see. Okay, so first, Ty Dillinger is actually part of AEW now known as Sean Spears. They made a video for it on the YouTube. Oh man, I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. This match though, I say I would take this battle royal over the Honor Rumble. This was a really good battle royal. There was one spot where Ace Romero just tossed Marco's stunt to the outside with the pounce. Another spot where what's his name? Joey Janela got folded, got put through a table, but the winner ended up being the 21st entrant drawing the Joker card, which ended up being Adam Page, whose match originally got cut because he was supposed to face Pac on this show. It was Adam Page got the loudest reaction during that match, ended up winning by eliminating MJF. So now he is going to face whoever the winner is of the Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega match that was the main event. So if them giving us a battle royal was enough, we also got another match. We got a nice little a really good match between Sami Guevara and Kip Sabian. Now, I don't know if I'm saying his name right or not. I think it's Kip Sabian. I'll just say Sabian. So, I'm not familiar with a lot of people on the AEW roster as of now. I feel like once I actually watch the show that's going to premiere in the fall on TNT, then I'll actually get to know more of these wrestlers. But I didn't know nothing about them, and what they showed me was really great. A lot of them was doing a lot of high spots. I would say the best part was Sami Guevara doing a not 450, a shooting star press. It was a shooting star press while Sabian was what happened to Sabian? Sabian was draped off of the ring apron, kind of like how Rob Van Dam when he does his little Van Terminator, and not the Van Terminator, I forgot what it's called, but he does the little leg drop while somebody's draped over the barricade. And Sami Guevara did that to the outside. He also hit a 630, but Sabian got his knees up and then eventually hitting a, they call it a Deathly Hollows. It was a really good looking move, and he won the match. It was a really good, like, match to really get people into the show. I'm glad they put it on the pre-show because it really just shows you what you can look forward to when you actually get the show. So eventually, we open up the show with the SCU, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky versus the team known... What were they known as? They were known as the something. And it's basically this new company in China that AEW has partnered with called OWE, which stands for Oriental Wrestling Entertainment. So they took 3 wrestlers. It was Sema, T-Hawk, and Lindaman. This was a nice opening 6-man tag match. A lot of good stuff happened. One spot where Scorpio Sky hits a tope con hilo to the outside. Christopher Daniels hit a suicide dive. Now, I watched this match. I was watching most of it. It was a really great match. I can't really go into detail as to everything. I can just tell you it was really good. The ending, they ended up with the best Meltzer ever, which was just a moonsault, powerbomb, pile driver combination for the pin. It was really good, though. I really liked the match. It was cool. So after that, we got our women's triple threat match, or what I thought was the triple threat match. We had Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, and Kylie Ray, who seems to be a cheap Bayley impersonation. I'm sorry. So it was really supposed to be a triple threat. Then eventually Brandy Rhodes came out and she was in her ring gear, and she was supposed to be in it, I guess, but she wasn't. But instead, there was the biggest announcement of the night. Other than the Dean Ambrose, this surprised me as well because I did not see this coming. Awesome Kong. Yes, you are hearing this right. Awesome Kong showed up at AEW, and I hope that they signed her. I hope this is not a one-off deal. I hope they signed her. Awesome Kong showed up, turned to a fatal 4-way match, and we got the match going. Awesome Kong in this match did about 2 things, though. There was one part where they did the Tower of London spot, and she powerbombed everybody. And then there's another spot she was a part of where she got speared into the stairs by Nyla Rose. Other than that, though, the real bright stars in this match was Britt Baker and Kylie Ray. They got a lot of the offense in. Nyla Rose got offense in, throwing people around, but it was really came down to Britt Baker and Kylie Ray. They really went at it with the finish. Ended up being Kylie Ray was trying to go for a German suplex, and then Britt Baker hit her with a super kick. And then hit her with the a neck breaker, like a suplex neck breaker type of thing, and she won the match. It was a pretty good match. I liked it. I really hope, and I hope they sign Awesome Kong to a deal. That way she can get the AEW bag and get the Netflix bag because she's part of the Netflix Glow series. I really did not expect that. So then after that, we got another tag team match between the best friends Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor versus Jack Evans and Angelico, who I've seen from Lucha Underground a lot, was Angelico. He was really great. Jack Evans is just somebody I've always known because he's always had this distinct attire of wearing these giant ass shorts and these like crazy wrist gauntlets or whatever. Good match. Now, I'm going to keep it real. I missed some of it because the stream was messing up. I'm going to keep it real. I didn't pay for this show. I'm sorry. If you're watching this, I'm pretty sure you didn't pay for the show either. I know the IWC is gonna come for my head now. I don't give a fuck. So for what I did see, it was actually pretty good. I saw one part where Chuck Taylor had Jack Evans in a crucifix, but it was kind of a reverse crucifix, and it tossed him into Trent Beretta with the cutter for a near fall. And the finish ended up being Chuck Taylor hitting double stumps off the top rope for the win. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't see all of this match, but I heard it was really good. I know this is pretty bad from coming from somebody that's supposed to review the show and all, but from what I heard, like the stuff I saw, I was impressed by it. But I also know what I can get out of these 4 people because I've seen them in PWG before, and Ring of Honor, New Japan, Lucha Underground, if I didn't already say that. I've just seen them in places, so I know what they can do, and they did a pretty good match. It's I guess just trying to do everything, to get the tag team division going, So then after that, the best friends got attacked by the team known as the Super Smash Bros. I'm pretty sure that's gonna get copyrighted. They got in the ring. They got jumped. They look like a fake version of the War Raiders, or the War Raiders. I'm not calling them the Viking Experience Raiders Machine, whatever you want to call them. So I'll just call them the War Experience, not the Super Smash Bros. They ended up hitting a night. Their finisher was actually pretty nice. It was a gory bomb into a cutter, but they got a "Who Are You" chant, and it actually killed the crowd for a good second. Like, the crowd was pretty much dead after that. Then we got a 6-woman tag match. Aja Kong, Yuka Sakazaki, and Imu Sakura versus Hakuru Shida, Ryo Abi, and Ryo Mizunami. I'm not that up on Stardom and like the Japanese women's wrestling, so I didn't know. The only person I knew out of this match was Aja Kong. But other than that, I mean, I really wasn't that invested in this match. I was invested the same way I was invested in the women's tag match that happened at what's the show? The G1 Supercard. I can tell you that I saw the ending. We saw Aja Kong go for a brainbuster, and somebody went for. Sorry. Oh, I don't know what that was, but yeah, like Aja Kong went for the brainbuster. And then something happened, and then eventually it ended up with Shida hitting a running knee on Sakura for the pinfall. The only thing I could tell you is I heard somebody's theme song. It was so annoying. It gave me a headache. You know what I'm talking about if you watch the show. I don't know what that was. I can't really tell you how much of a good match it was. I really caught the tail end of it. I wasn't that invested into it because I don't watch Stardom, and I don't really know these characters like that, and I don't see them being main fixtures in AEW. I just see them as just, being special attractions for the show, to fill up space on the show and all that type of stuff. Because I see who they actually have. They actually premiered another women's wrestler in her own what was it? It was her own she got her own video package and whatnot. So I see them building from their own talent, including Kylie Ray, B. Presley, who I forgot is signed to them, and Britt Baker, Kylie Ray, Nyla Rose, all of them, and Allie from TNA as well. So that's interesting. So after that, we got what I thought was the match of the night: Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes. And before the match even starts, there's a throne that is on the stage. It looks like a Triple H throne. And as soon as the throne shows up, I'm like, oh, Triple H done bought AEW already. But instead, it was Cody Rhodes. He came out, and I thought he was going to sit on the throne and look at, his company, essentially. But instead, he looked at the throne. I thought there was another symbolism of you can't sit on the throne until you beat your brother. So he walks to the ring. They go under the ring. He grabs a sledgehammer. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's ready for war. Grabs a sledgehammer, hits the chair, the throne, and it's just like pyro goes off, and basically the chair explodes. That's a super shot at Triple H because, at Hall of Fame, he called AEW the Pissant Company. But yeah, that was insane. I actually like that. Cody's entrance alone deserved 5 stars. This match against Cody and Dustin Rhodes, formerly known as Goldust, this match was really good. It was basic, but it was good. Like, they didn't have to do a 360, 630 moonsault through a table to make this match amazing. They did this just based off of being a pure old school like match. Okay, it started off real basic. It picked up when Goldust decided to blade himself, which I don't know what he cut himself with. You're supposed to cut yourself with a small blade. Goldust decides to cut himself with a knife or just a giant sword because he was just dripping blood the entire match, like Eddie Guerrero levels of blood. Like, he never stopped bleeding in the match, and it was just blood dripping. But it made the match more intense because it gave Goldust that extra layer of what's the word? It gave him an extra layer. I'm trying to think of the word. I'm really trying to think of the word. It just gave him an extra layer of stuff for people to cheer him on for, to come back even though he's getting beat to literally a bloody pulp. So we get to one part where Goldust hits a cold red, hits a superplex that looked really scary, and also hit the final cut for a near fall. Cody Rhodes did his thing as well. As you know, like I said, he made Goldust bleed. Hit a figure 4, hit one crossroads for a near fall. Then it just turned out into them just punching the crap out of each other before the ending of the match, where Dustin hits a crossroads on Cody Rhodes twice, and Cody kicks out. They go back and forth. Then eventually it starts going into move after move as Cody went for a bicycle kick. They collide in a ring. It looked like a Spanish fly, but I guess it was just both of them clotheslining each other and then they just flipping all over the place. But then eventually Cody drops Dustin on the back of his neck, and then eventually Cody Rhodes hits the crossroads and wins the match. Both of them covered in blood. Cody wasn't bleeding. He wasn't bleeding at all. He was just covered in Goldust blood. That's how much blood it was. Like the mat was stained in blood. It was as if they did a drive-by in the ring type. It was really insane. So after the match, Cody Rhodes walks out the ring. I thought, oh, are they going to have a moment or not? So instead, Cody Rhodes comes back into the ring, and he's like, I know this is not going to be your last match. I signed a match for our next pay-per-view, Fight for the Fallen. I signed up for a tag team match, and the crowd goes crazy because you already know what's going to happen. I signed up to face the Young Bucks. And he was like, I don't want a tag team partner. I don't want a friend. I want my older brother. And then he starts crying. And they really sold it. They hugged it out, and it was a really great moment for this match. This match was probably my best match of the night, and it wasn't even because they did spectacular moves. It was a really old school match. They did less moves. It was kind of a WWE match, just how basic it was. They did really basic stuff, but they was able to tell a great story. The blood added to it. The blood made the match better because it brought out that comeback for Goldust at one point. That's what I loved about it. And then the post-match stuff really drove it in with Cody crying and them reuniting and being a tag team once again. And now they're going to face the Young Bucks at the next AEW pay-per-view, Fight for the Fallen, which I think is either next month or the month after that. I think it's in June or July, one of the two. And it's going to be in Jacksonville, Florida. So after that, we get the unveiling of the AEW World Championship. Bret Hart comes out. That actually shocked me because I didn't think he was going to show up to an AEW event because he's still signed to a Legends contract. Vince is probably like having a meltdown. So they have the world title. Eventually he invites what's his face? Adam Page to the ring. Then eventually MJF comes out, cuts a crazy promo, just sending shots at everybody saying, you can't be a horse if you're hurt. You know what they do to horses. They take them out. He made one joke at Bret. He was like, oh, look, it's a fan. You know, talking about, you know, what happened at the Hall of Fame when a fan tackled Bret Hart last month. Was that last month? Yeah, last month. Then after that, Jungle Boy came out. If you don't know who Jungle Boy is, he's the son of the late Luke Perry. He's a wrestler and he got signed to AEW. He was also in the Casino Battle Royal. He came out. Then MJF just kept walking. Then Jimmy Havoc came out. And then they just beat up on MJF all stupid, threw him in the crowd. They start fighting him in the crowd. Then eventually you see Bret Hart holding up the giant AEW World Championship. It looks like just a combination of a bunch of world titles. Like it looks like the front plate looks like the IWGP title. Then the side plates look like the side plates from the Impact Knockouts title. Title looks good. It doesn't look like the WWE Championship where it's just a W in the middle and then it just says World Heavyweight Championship. And I seriously dare for somebody to try to come at me again for what I said. Because I said this before about the IWGP title, and I had said how basic the WWE title was because it was just a basic W in the middle and it just said World Heavyweight Championship. No creative thought was put into it. Somebody, I don't know which video, you're going to have to go back and look at the comments. Somebody tried to sit up here and tell me that like WWE, that the giant logo is it makes sense because it's representing the company. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that. 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 Okay? I dare somebody to go in my comments after I upload this video and tell me that I'm wrong again. Like, somebody really try to come at me because I said the WWE title is bogus because it has a W in it because it's supposed to represent the company. No. You can have a small W in it and actually put some thought into the world title. But anyways, I digress. So after that, we got the tag team match for the AAA World Tag Team Championships, which was a title I feel like I made out of construction paper when I was like 7 years old. The AAA World titles look terrible, but this match was not terrible. We had the Young Bucks, who are the AAA World Tag Champs, versus the Lucha Bros, Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix, or Ray Phoenix for short, or for long. I don't know. The Young Bucks came out dressed as Elvis Presley, go figure, because they're in Las Vegas. This match was literally a mixtape. It was just the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros doing their best moves to each other. and kicking out of all of them. I say my favorite part was the Lucha Bros Pentagon hitting a Canadian Destroyer on the apron, and then Phoenix in the Canadian Destroyer in the ring for a near fall. The Young Bucks did their stuff. You know, they did the was it the Meltzer driver, I believe, at one point? Oh no, they set up for it. They did the powerbomb Enziguri kick. They did all their high flying stuff. Ray Phoenix and Pentagon did all their tight walking stuff. Pentagon Jr. hit like a pump handle neck breaker for a near fall. That was actually pretty clean. I think Kevin Owens did it in NXT a couple times. Never did it on the main roster for a near fall. They even went for their finisher, Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix. It was a if you don't know what the finisher is, it's basically them just combining their finishers together. It's like Pentagon goes for the Pentagon pretty much just goes for the hold on, because Discord is gonna piss me off. Pentagon's basically going for give me 1 second. I gotta mute Discord real quick. What is this? Okay. Anyways, I don't know if that came across, but it was annoying the fuck out of me. We had Pentagon and Phoenix go for their finisher for the near fall, which was like Pentagon going for the package power driver. Let me read this. He was going for the package power driver, and Phoenix, I don't know how to describe it. You just have to see it. It's a package power driver and a double footstock combo, and then Nick Jackson hit a corkscrew splash on the outside to Phoenix. Matt tries to go for a pin. There was also another spot where both the Young Bucks hit a double sharpshooter. I guess they were just in tribute of either Owen Hart, because the day he passed away was like a couple days ago, or just being Bret Hart being there. Could be that. Then the finish ended up being Ray Phoenix getting hit with the Meltzer driver for the pinfall. I didn't think the Young Bucks were going to retain the AAA World titles, the World Tag titles, because I thought give them back to the Lucha Bros. They can keep them titles. And then you have the Young Bucks eventually introduce their own, you know, they're going to have to eventually introduce the AEW tag titles. I guess they just got to wait till they get their tag team division in order, because right now you got the Young Bucks, you got the Best Friends, which I'm not that big on. You got the Lucha Bros, you got the fake Viking Warriors, or whatever they're called. You got Angelico and Jack Evans. And that's about it. I guess they just need some more established tag teams. They probably get some more from this OWE partnership and the AAA partnership. So eventually they'll introduce the tag titles and stuff. So then after that, we got our main event, Alpha versus Omega 2. Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega, with the winner facing Adam Page at a later date for the AEW World title. Which, if I'm not correct, they're supposed to face each other at Fight for the Fallen, which is the next AEW pay-per-view. But we'll see. So Jericho's entrance also deserves 5 stars, because his entrance was just all of his gimmicks throughout the year. First it was the Lionheart, then it was the list of Jericho. Chris Jericho actually had the list. Then it was the light up jacket. Then Jericho came out to his music, Judas. Great song, by the way. Kenny Omega came out, got a brand new theme song. Hurts my heart to listen to it because I really loved his New Japan theme song. And then we get to the match. The match itself was really good. I don't know if I would put it above their New Japan match, but this match was good. The table was used again. There was a spot where Jericho held the table as Kenny Omega did the tope con hilo. Then eventually Kenny Omega got put through the table inadvertently, I guess you can say. There was one part where Kenny Omega just took control of the match. He hit like V-triggers and suplexes and all types of stuff. Then eventually Jericho got offense in. He actually hit Kenny Omega with a cold breaker out of midair. He had a Walls of Jericho or a Lion Tamer at one point. Then we get to the finish of the match where Kenny Omega goes for another V-trigger and he hits it. Then Kenny Omega goes for the One Wing Angel, but then Chris Jericho redoes the spot they did in the match previously that kind of botched. It was supposed to be reversing the V-trigger, the One Wing Angel to a DDT, but it just looked terrible. So they redid it. Jericho does it, actually connects with the DDT. Then after that, goes for the code breaker, and then hits his new finisher, the Judas effect, which is a spinning back elbow, and it actually looked brutal. Like, it actually looked like it could have finished the match. because Jericho's been doing a lot of MMA training lately. So he actually hit the spinning back fist, and he won the match. And I knew Jericho was gonna win because Jericho is facing Okada at the next show, which is actually coming up pretty soon. Dominion. He's losing at Dominion. He's not beating Okada. New Japan would not do that to Okada. I wish somebody would tell me, or I wish somebody would give me a valid reason why Jericho would beat Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP World Title when they're not going to give you the World Title if they can't lock you into a contract. Especially since he's with AEW now, they're not going to let him just win their World Title. So Jericho wins in order to keep his stock up and his value. Then after the match, he cuts a heel promo, and I'm like, bro, somebody has to come out. They're not going to end it with Jericho cutting a promo. And boy, even though I knew it was going to happen, still surprised. Dean Ambrose, oh wait, Dean Ambrose is dead. Jon Moxley shows up, formerly known as Dean Ambrose for people who don't know. Shows up, looks crazy, got the military pants, the vest, comes out, immediately comes through the crowd. The crowd goes nuts. Hits the I guess the dirty deeds on Jericho. Hits the dirty deeds on the referee. Then hits the dirty deeds on Kenny. Or no, Kenny fought it. They ended up fighting. They went to the stage. Now near the stage was actually interesting because it had the TNA tunnels. There was actually a set of giant chips, like poker chips. So they decided to use the set for its advantage. So eventually not Dean. I'm sorry. This is going to be hard. It's going to be different calling him Jon Moxley now. Jon Moxley hit the dirty deeds on top of the poker chips, then eventually hitting a Death Valley Driver or FU or AA, just tosses Dean. Oh my God, this is hard to say. Oh, this is hard. Jon Moxley tosses Kenny Omega off the set through some type of platform, and the show ends with just Jon posing, and the show ends. And yes, AEW is coming for blood. Great show. This is a really good show. I really liked it. My favorite match from the show, or the match of the night, has to be Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes. That was a really good match. Really good story that was told throughout that match and after. I really enjoyed it. Giving the show a 10 out of 10. Boom. 10 out of 10. This was a good show. As for WWE, you know, I mess with y'all. I go to all WWE events that come to Chicago. I wish I could go to an AEW event, but they want to announce that they're going to Chicago again for All Out. But guess what? It's happening August 31st. I won't even be in Chicago on August 31st. I'll be back in Nashville for my second year of college. Like, I won't even be there, bro. That kind of makes me mad. And I'm pretty sure if I didn't have school, I still wouldn't be able to get the tickets because I was trying to get the tickets to All In. I wasn't even trying because I knew I was going to be in school. I was just trying to see, maybe I can get a ticket and see what happens. No. It's okay, though. I'll still go to WWE events. But as for WWE, this should show you should not take AEW lightly. They just took your biggest star and made him better than y'all ever did while he was a part of y'all rosters. Dean Ambrose is like 5 minutes attacking everybody, made him more legit and badass than what y'all have done in the past 4 years with Dean Ambrose. You had Dean Ambrose throwing hot dogs at people, and you had him getting shots in the butt, pause if necessary, getting like needle shots or whatever, doing all this basic stuff, and then he comes out here and just goes crazy. This should be a wake-up call for you, Vince. This should be a wake-up call for everybody in the back. This should be a wake-up call for creative. This should be a wake-up call. Get y'all stuff together before it's too late. And I'm not saying AEW is going to kill WWE. I'm just saying this company is ready for war, and y'all better be ready for war too. That's all I got to say. Like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Do what you do to support me. Follow me on all my social media links down in the description below. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace.